It's been massive, 3 days of non-stop rainfall in some areas. And some of the numbers to put that in perspective, around the Townsville area, we've seen about 800 to 900 millimetres in the last 3 days. Now, over a year, they average 1.1 metres. So, we've seen 9 months, 10 months worth of rainfall in the last few days. And just up the coast, we've seen even heavier falls around Bluewater, Rolling Stone. Ingham's had 1.1 metres. Rolling Stone's had about 1.5 metres of rainfall. That's a huge amount of rainfall to fall in 3 days, and we're talking something of 6, 9, months worth of rainfall in just a short space of time.
Incredible. What are the latest weather warnings, Dean?
Yeah, as we've been saying the last 2 days, they are continuing. Severe weather warning current for heavy rainfall from Tully down to Ayr, including the communities of Cardwell, Ingham and also through Townsville. As you've heard, the showers are impacting the coast right now. If you look at the radar, there's a huge blob of rain offshore. Hopefully it stays offshore, but there is a threat they could move onshore into the afternoon and evening hours, so we're watching that. And that means we could see an additional 50 to 150 millimetres for some areas in that warning zone with isolated falls, and they will be very isolated, but isolated falls up to 400 or 500 millimetres possible. Major flood warnings are current, continue to be on the Herbert River, the Upper Burdekin River, as well as the Ross and the Ross River as well. We're continuing to see flood levels hover well above major on those rivers, and we've still got any more rainfall will mean we could see renewed river level rises. That's why we're concerned still in the coming days. Not likely to peak in some of those rivers until late tonight or into tomorrow.
Right, and how long will the rain continue?
Yeah, unfortunately, we're looking at showers and rain in areas kind of today, tonight and tomorrow. But even the rest of the week, we'll kind of have big breaks in the rain, but we're likely to see widespread rain and thunderstorm activity across all of northern Queensland, north of Align Mackay to Mount Isa. And if any of that heavy rainfall does fall in that kind of Tully to Townsville area in the coming days, we're going to have major concerns.
Right. Is it possible to say, Dean, how long it'll take for floodwaters to subside? Because everywhere is drenched, isn't it? Saturated.
Yeah, absolutely. It depends on where you are. So some of the upper reaches of the Herbert and also the Upper Burdekin, that's going to take a few days for all of that water to kind of flow down. So we're going to maintain these kind of long duration major flood levels at certain locations in the lower catchments, if that makes sense. So if the rain, it's unlikely, if the rain stops, say tonight and doesn't rain for a few days, we'll probably see everything ease by the end of the week. But the problem is additional showers, thunderstorms and rain areas, not to the level that we've seen, but still in that kind of 50 to 100, over a 24-hour period or so. Can lead to holding that level or even rising that level slightly in the coming days.
And what is the longer term forecast, Dean?
Yeah, well, thankfully it looks like we're not going to see this widespread rain and storm kind of ease, and probably until the end of the week and into the weekend, and that's where we could see longer periods of dry weather as we get towards the end of the week. But it's all dependent on what this low does, if it moves or trough moves inland or if it hangs around.
Has this been a particularly slow moving low? Is that why North Queensland has been slammed for 3 days now?
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost stalled. It's kind of just sat. We had the rain earlier last week, then we had that break around Wednesday, Thursday, and then it kind of came back and just continued to hammer that kind of Tully to Ayr location. And because of that stalled nature, that's why we've seen these rainfall totals and this widespread major flooding.